All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the stream. Let's see here. So yeah, today we're going to be working on some more, just doing the general game loop, building out the frameworks and whatnot necessary for making the game work the way that it should work. So that's what we're going to be doing. Just basically finding anything random that I can work on to that end. But before I get into it, Gunforged is available for sale. It's 30% off right now, so it's a great way of supporting my work. Also, you get a fun game out of it. So definitely give that a look. The link is in the description below. I also have my Udemy courses available for sale, so if you want to learn how to build a complete game in the Godot engine using either C# or GDScript, that's a great way to do so and also support me. So let's go ahead and get into it. So yesterday I was working on some changes to how the health can be chosen, and I drew up some of these health options here, and this is like small, medium, large health. So the way that I'm going to do this is that health is going to appear as an option, as an event that can happen, so increasing your max health, and I'm going to give the ability to the player to spend this blood currency to increase the amount of health that they get. So let me see if I can get a health event to generate here. So I put this there, begin, get some cards, increase, yeah, so max health increase here, so boom. And now I've got these increase health by 5, increase health by 10, increase health by 15. So these numbers will probably change, but there's the cost here. So this is 0 blood, this is 5 blood, this is 10 blood. And if I choose one, I get 15 increased health there. So yeah, so there still needs to be some work done here because obviously I shouldn't have been able to buy that because of my lack of blood available. So let's go ahead and handle that. Health option. So we need some kind of like warning text here, I think. How do I want to do this? That is a good question. How do I want to do this? Maybe I'll just change the color of the text. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. I'll just change the color of this cost label to red. And then prevent it from being clicked if there's not enough. Good morning, Craig. Welcome back. Good to see you. Oh, is it not working? Oh, there it goes. Good to see you. Okay, so in here we've got the cost label. And what I'll do is, okay, so there's a couple of things that need to happen here. So let's do a private void update can purchase. What we need to do is the currency manager here. I need to do a signal blood changed event handler. So in here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this dot get, let's do get tree, get first node in group. You know what I'm going to do? Get first node in group currency manager. I'm going to get rid of this. I'll put this as an extension. Get currency manager. There we go. This dot get currency manager. And then in here, I could do this dot get currency manager dot connect. Currency manager signal name blood changed, callable from on blood changed. Update can purchase. So we're just going to update the can purchase thing here. Okay, so font color. We're going to override the font color here. If do I have blood? Yeah, blood here. Okay. If currency manager dot blood is greater than or less than or equal to cost or less than cost. Wait, do I not have the cost here? Okay. Private int cost. So we'll set the cost here. If the currency manager blood is less than cost, we're going to do cost label dot add theme color override. This is going to be game constants dot color red. Else, if cost label dot has theme color override. I don't know if I need to do that check first, but I might as well. Okay, so this is just going to update the text to red. And then also I'm going to store a bool for can purchase. And we'll just make sure to set this here. Can purchase is equal to currency manager dot blood is greater than cost. If not can purchase. Cool. All right, so that should work. So now what I'm going to do in my run manager here is set event types. I'll just make sure to set events 0 here to max health, so we always get a max health option. And we'll see if this works. Max health increase, it did not work. Why didn't that work? Oh, am I never calling it? Hold on. I don't think I ever called it in here. Yeah, this needs to be update can purchase here. And also, I need to do a check there as well. This also needs to have accept event in it. There we go. All right, let's try again. Max health increase, boom. So I cannot do this one because those are red. Might add some text to like not enough blood or something, but I can take this one, increase my health by 5. Let me begin again. And what I'll do is I will, whoops. Oh, that doesn't work. That's crazy. Okay, I'll have to fix that. Oops. Cannot access a disposed object. Okay. I'll need to fix that. I need to detect when I drag something over to the cell board. But anyway, what I wanted to do is check that when I sell things, that should update the UI. Max health increase, so if I sell this, there we go. Now I can purchase this one if I wanted to. Let's sell that one. Now I can purchase that one, so boom. That goes back down to 0. Perfect, okay, so that's working. So now I need to handle the case where this is handled. I think I can probably, let's see. Or no, maybe booster. What do I want to do here? Booster container, maybe? Nope. Booster card selection container. This is it. Okay. So this is not what I want to be doing here. So I'm listening for if the card from that card selection gets placed on either the player board or the player inventory board. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is really check if the card is transferred. So I have this signal card transferred to inventory. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this out here, and I'm going to do board.board inventory component.card transferred plus equals on card transferred. Okay. And we got that. I think I can just probably take all this and put it there. And I don't even think I need to do rewards cards here now. So I was tracking these rewards cards so I could tell whenever a card is placed whether that was one of the valid cards, but now I don't need to do that. Oh, but I do need to do this. No, I can do board.get cards ordered by priority. I can do that. So I don't even need this reward cards anymore. That simplifies things. Cool. All right, let's see if that works. So now the benefit of doing it that way is anytime I drag and drop a card from the booster pack selection onto another valid board, it's just automatically going to detect that. So if I do this, you can see if I drag it here, that doesn't work. But as soon as I drag this over here, boom, now that's valid and it can free itself. Max health increase, increase there, begin. Take the scarab, now I can put the scarab anywhere. I can put it here. Let's sell it, sell it. Okay, so we'll take this, we'll sell that. Max health increase, boom. So that's working really well. Sweet. Oh, 2 Corvids. I want to see what happens here. Oh, those Corvids are weird. I don't want them to do this effect, but that's fine for now. Ooh, I think they're gonna win. Maybe? No, they're not gonna win. I think I'm gonna win. Sweet. Okay, so this is working great. So I'm gonna take this over here, sell that, max health increase, I can buy that one. Awesome. Out of interest, how long did it take you to feel proficient in coding when you were first starting out, and how did your initial coding experience compare to your expectations? I don't. Let me think. I mean, that was very long ago for me. I started like doing programming and dabbling in it when I was 14. So I'm 30 years old now. So that was 16 years ago. How long did it take me to feel proficient? I mean, I would say it definitely took me many years to feel proficient. I probably wasn't very comfortable with coding until I was like 18-ish. So after like 4 or 5 years of doing it regularly, that's when I started to get really comfortable with it. And of course, I still got better through my 20s as well, especially my early 20s, just getting better and better. But in terms of feeling proficient, yeah, probably 4 or 5 years. And I think the other thing too is it depends on what you get exposed to, right? So I would say that my proficiency increased quite a bit as soon as I started working like full-time professionally and being exposed to all kinds of different technologies, because I just got exposed to things that I would have never discovered on my own, and that helped a lot. So yeah. Hello, Kuji Pixel. Welcome back. Great to see you again. I've done minor things in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but only just recently started dabbling in Godot and properly investing my time in it. I've definitely made progress, but man, it's hard. Yes, it is hard. Yeah. Yeah. It was, it is hard, but I think programming is one of those things where it has like, I don't know, I guess I would call it a steep learning curve, but the learning curve definitely becomes easier and easier and easier the more you understand about it, to the point where you could just pick up a new language immediately because it's like you've seen it, the same concepts a million times, and all it is a matter of is just getting familiar with the syntax. But yeah, it's hard at first for sure. I think you should be expecting to I think you should be expecting to look at a timeline of at least a year or two before you start to feel really good. And again, it depends on how much you dedicate to it, right? It depends on how much you push yourself to trying to do things that you're not comfortable doing. If you just stick to the stuff that you're comfortable doing, then obviously you're not gonna make progress. But yeah, that would be my impression anyway. Just came from the Switch, is it Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2? It was a farce not announcing a price. I forgot that was happening. I'm not a handheld or console gamer, so I don't really keep up with that kind of stuff. But it can't, I mean, what was the original Switch? Was it like $400, $300? It can't be that much more expensive, right? I mean, they have to compete with the Steam Deck too, to some extent. So it shouldn't, I don't think it, I mean, would it be wrong to assume it'd be around the $400 range? One of the things that I severely lack is in maths, but thankfully LLMs help make that more accessible. Yeah, I think that's a great use of LLMs too, is having them explain mathematical concepts to you. I think that's really good. But yeah, I mean, you know, the kind of math you need to know for game dev, especially like 2D stuff, is just basic linear algebra. Just, you know what a vector magnitude is, know what a normalized vector is. Study the unit circle. That's really helpful. That helps a lot with trigonometry and just rotations and radians, generally speaking. So if you look at a unit circle, that's a really good thing to be familiar with for game development. I just kind of chuckle to myself thinking back to my high school geometry teacher having us memorize the unit circle and being like, when will I need to know this? And then it's like, oh, it's actually one of the most helpful things you can be familiar with. OG Switch was $300, leaked price is $450. Yeah, that seems like right to me. $450. I mean, that's not terrible. Hello, Camillo. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right, so I'm happy with this. Obviously, like, I could spend a lot of time polishing these screens up and adding animations and stuff, but I really just want to get like the framework of the game built out first before I start doing all that stuff. So let me commit what I have here. Don't allow health purchases if no money. So I think there would be kind of, I need to start writing some things down. Event type. So events, events. I'm gonna call it events. Stumble across a, you know, I don't know, what would be the word? Abandoned. What would be the, like a hospital, I guess. Was there hospitals in this time? I don't know. I don't need to make it like period accurate. Is it sanatorium or sanitarium? Sanitarium is the Metallica song. Yeah, sanitarium and then what is a sanatorium? Oh, it's like the same thing. Okay. I actually spelled this wrong. It's either sanatorium or sanitarium. Okay. Have a chance to gain loot/blood or fight something. So I'm just coming up with, just writing down the ideas that come to my head. Okay, where is this print statement? Setting board. Okay, so let's just play through the game here for a sec and see what comes next to me. I still don't like this UI. This begin button needs to go away, I think. I need to change that effect. I don't like that effect. Anyway, so this feels good. More alchemical cards, more minion cards. Let's do some minions. Let's grab this guy over here. Add enchantment to the card, increase board size. Actually, that's one thing that I want to do. Go to my run manager here. Where am I setting the player board size? Yeah, let's do ×2 instead. So start the player board out smaller. Okay. Oh, you know what I should do too? I am incrementing the tier of this skeleton warrior, so I'm going to get rid of that for now. I do want to add, so I could work on some scaling here. I could add some new cards. I think getting the game built out here, though, is a good idea here. Basically, I think my goal right now should be to make the game as fun as possible with the limited amount of content that I have in it, but that requires that I update all the stuff that is here. So this is looking good. I think this is fine for now. Ooh, look at that, 3 phylacteries. Actually, this is probably bad because you can only ever take 1, and so if there's 3 different options, that could be a little bit annoying. I could differentiate them in some way, like by changing the tiers here, maybe randomizing the tiers based on the difficulty, but that's fine. Increase board size, max health increase, alchemize cards. So we do need to work a little bit more on this screen here, this alchemize cards. I was thinking about this last night, and I was trying to figure out how to balance it. And I think what I might do is... So right now what happens is you stick as many cards as you want into the board here, into the alchemy board. You perform the alchemical transformation, and it mixes the abilities of those 2 things together. Reduces the remaining turns of adjacent minion cards by 1 and deal 2 damage. So this is a mixture of the incense and the skeleton, and then it just merges into the incense here. Now the problem is you can put multiple cards in here, which is fine. I think that's okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just make the alchemy board very small, and then maybe allow the player to have a way of increasing the size of the alchemy board so that they can create more powerful cards. But what I was thinking last night when I was trying to sleep is what I think I might do is present the player with 3 different alchemize outputs. So the alchemy will happen, it will take a random number of abilities from one card, a random number of abilities from another card, and then it will choose one card to merge that into. But then it will do that process 3 times. And so what you'll do is you'll have 3 potential outputs that you can choose from. And then you have a little bit more control over which one you want it to take. So you're not guaranteed that you're going to get an outcome that you want, but you're also not entirely up to just the output of the first RNG. You can kind of triage and say, okay, well, these 2 outputs are bad, but this one's kind of good, so I'll take that one. So I think that's how I want to change this. That's how I'm going to balance it, because right now, just like I said, it just merges everything together into a card, and I don't want that to happen. I think I want to probably average it out, or like, you know, figure out some way of choosing how many abilities to take from each card. I don't know, but let's actually work on that, because that alchemy system is, I think, going to be one of the core parts of this game. So I think I need to probably spend some time figuring that out. So I'll go ahead and do that. Where, oh where? Events 0, Alchemy. Okay, so Alchemy container. So what we're going to do is we're going to start this board inventory component .set dimensions vector2 i.1 times 2. So we're going to make it small at first. On button pressed, get cards on board. So this is emit signal alchemy started. Alchemy started. So this is being okay. So I'm gonna want to. Yesterday I made this pattern for creating event state machines. I think I'm gonna want to do that for the Alchemy as well. So I'm gonna create a new script in here. Alchemy event state machine. Namespace game.gameplay. Public partial class. Base event state machine. Generate constructor. Change this to primary constructor. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing in here is I'm going to say var alchemy state machine is equal to new alchemy event state machine. Event state machine. Game UI player board. What I might do is I might create a method in here called create event context and then pass the resulting object into this constructor here. And just have a method of gathering up all the context in one place, but I'm not going to do that just yet. So in here, we don't need this event contain. Leave state event. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean all this up gradually, but let's go ahead and get rid of this. And what I'm gonna do is add child alchemy event state machine, finished, on event state machine finished. Cool. All right. So now in the alchemy event state machine, public override void ready. State machine dot add states, state enter, state set. What did I call it in the health state machine? State init. Okay, we'll just follow that pattern. State init, enter state init. Okay, Alchemy container, game UI create Alchemy event, Alchemy started on event. So yeah, now I can change, shoot. Yeah, now I can do this. Private void on event Alchemy started with a list of cards. Is that how it works? I guess so. Emit signal Alchemy started. Okay, so in here, on event Alchemy completed. Private void enter state cleanup. Just let the AI do all this for me, I suppose. Uh-oh. We've got severe storms coming my way, with a potential for tornadoes. So I have to keep an eye on the weather here, make sure that I'm not gonna die. Okay, we're good for now. Hello, Adam. Lurkin and Torkin. Oh, goodness. Good morning to you as well. Hello, Neozoid. Welcome. I'm in northern Alabama. It's been like that for about a month now. Craziness, yeah. I don't recall tornadoes ever being really that common where I'm at, but the past couple years there's been a handful of them, which is not pleasant, but what are you gonna do, you know? What are you gonna do? I just hope the hail doesn't destroy my car if there's hail. Oh well. Oh well, can't do anything about it. Private void state cleanup. So now I need to add the state cleanup here. Cool. Okay. So that seems good. On event Alchemy started. So what am I doing in here? Let's just take this. We don't need this anymore either. Put this in here. All right. Put a blanket on your car and shut the corner into the doors. It will protect it from hail. That's a good idea. I don't have a blanket big enough though. I don't have a blanket big enough. I should probably get one. If this is going to be a common occurrence. Okay, so on event alchemy started, so here's where the alchemizing cards is happening. This is going to need to change. How do I want this to change? I wanted to provide 3 options for the player, so I'm going to need a different algorithm for this alchemizing. This was mostly just a test to make sure that it's going to work the way that I want it to. The other question is, what do I do about tiers? I guess I can just choose, I'll just leave it up to the player. So if the player wants to alchemize a card, a high tier card with a low tier card, what I might do is I just might make the alchemy process able to generate results that are in that range. And so if you want to preserve the tier of the card, you have to make sure to only alchemize cards of the same tier. So let's do this. So I actually don't know how I want to approach this. Should I create a new card stats object? I think I have to. Okay, first thing I need to decide is how many abilities am I going to choose to merge? So if I have a card, I want new abilities to be added to the card, but it can't just be a pure addition every time, because if you have 2 cards that each have 8 abilities and you alchemize them together and you get 16 abilities out of it, that's going to be a little much. Maybe what I can do is, let's just try it with having a 50-50 chance of preserving an ability from each card that's being alchemized. Maybe we'll start with that. And we'll see how that goes. So obviously I can change how that behavior works, but all right. Shoot, how do I want to do this? Okay, so var new card options is equal to new card stats cards.length. Okay, private, let's do this. Var min tier is equal to cards.min card.tier. Card.base card.tier. Var max tier is equal to cards.max card.base card.tier. So there's our min tier and max tier. And we got our new card options here. So now what I'm going to do is for int I and cards.length, we need to create a new card stats object. So var card stats is equal to new card stats. No, this is not what I want to do. I want to do this. This needs to be 3. We got some thunder rolling in. Well, we'll see how it goes. If I get a severe thunderstorm warning, I may have to cut the stream short, but I'm watching it, so. Appreciate you in the courses you have taught. I enjoy game development, but really struggle with the art. Slowly, though, I do think I'm getting better. Just wanted to say thanks. Well, thank you, Max. I appreciate that message, and I'm glad to hear that. And I don't know if you're doing pixel art, but I do have a video on my channel called something like how to get good at pixel art with no art skill, something clickbaity like that. But I think the video is valuable because I show, I show like the 5 most impactful tips that I learned for creating pixel art. And those are the sort of things that most accelerated my ability to create nice pixel art. So you can definitely check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I think with art, it's just a matter of, it's like anything, you know, it's just practice and study, and you'll just eventually get better at it. Hello, Anykey, welcome back. Good to see you as always. So I want to generate 3 card options. Let me think about this. I don't want to pass in a reference here. What I want to do is card IDs is equal to cards.select card.base card definition resource.id. We're going to do toList. And then here, when we generate the 3 options, we're going to choose var random card ID, mathutil.rng.randirange, 0 card IDs.count -1. This is going to be card registry dot from ID random card ID dot to card instance. Yeah. So we're creating a new base card instance here. So var base card. Base card dot set tier. So I don't have a way of setting the base card tier. I actually want to do this probably at this level. Yeah, public void set tier int tier. I do need one here though. Okay, so in here, base card set tier, I'm going to do mathutil.rng.randirange between min tier and max tier. Okay, and then I'll create a new card stats. And actually, this needs to be okay. Card stats.set tier. Right, okay. So now I need to do abilities. I think what I'll do is I'll create a giant list of all the abilities. Var all abilities across, well, let's just do all abilities cards.select many base card get all abilities to list. Yes, so that's what I'll do. And then essentially what I'll do here, let's do this base card. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do get composed abilities. Okay, I'm going to do this. Public void clear composed abilities. Then in here, base card dot clear composed abilities. We're going to set the tier, and then we're going to iterate over all abilities. Actually, let's just do this. Var abilities to add is equal to, oh shoot, hold on. The way I'm approaching it right now, I have a potential of generating a card that has no abilities, but I think what I should do is abilities to add. Let's just do this. All abilities dot select. Or let's do dot where x mathutil dot rng dot randf randf is less than 0.5. To list. If abilities to add dot count is equal to 0, then we'll just say abilities to add dot add. All abilities mathutil.rng.rand I range 0 all abilities dot count -1. So if there's no abilities, we'll just choose a random one to add. And this might change too in terms of how many minimum guaranteed abilities there are, but okay, so we're just going to select each ability from all abilities of the merged cards. It's a 50% chance of preserving each one. Card stats dot add composed abilities to add. Why is that not working? Oh, card stats dot base card dot add composed abilities. That's going to scale the abilities properly. Okay. And then new card options I is equal to card stats. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to queue free all the cards. And we'll look at minimum dimension here. Where am I setting the minimum dimensions? In the booster card selection container. Resize board and place cards. Oh, very nice. Look at that. Cardboard utils. Very nice. Okay. So in here, what I can do, I'm going to free all the cards that went into the alchemy. And then I'm going to say board dot, no, wait. Oh, I don't have a reference to the alchemy container board. Oh. Alchemy container. On card transferred. On button pressed. Alchemy, okay. Void set alchemy output cards. Board, or cardboard utils dot resize board and place cards. Okay, so now in this alchemy state machine, what I'll do is I'll say alchemy container dot set alchemy output cards there. Okay. And then what I want to do is do something like this. Board.can drop cards equals false. So I can no longer drop cards into the board. Actually, I might as well do this over here. I have no clue if this is going to work, but we'll see. We just do a quick run through the logic again. Min tier, max tier, card IDs. We're just selecting all the card resource IDs. Okay, we're merging all the abilities from all the cards into a single list. We're generating 3 outputs. We're selecting a random card ID from the list of cards that were alchemized. We're creating a new card stats instance from that. We're clearing the abilities that exist by default on the card. We're setting the tier of the card based on the min and max tier. Selecting all the merged abilities, just 50-50. And then if there's no ability, we'll add just a random one. Adding that result list of composed abilities and then setting that output, freeing all the cards that went into the alchemy process and then setting the output. So let's see if this works. I have no clue if it's going to work, but that's why we test. That's why we test. Alchemized cards. Okay, I only have this much space, so let's do this. Perform alchemical transformation. So here's my 3 options. Deal 2 damage, deal 2 damage, and okay. So that didn't really get changed much. So I might need to change how this works, but let's just go ahead and drag this on over. That also didn't work. Why did that not work? Oh, I'm not doing anything with the alchemy completed. Oh. State cleanup, right. All right, so this should work. Let's see. Okay, we've got that. Alchemized cards. Let's do this and this. Perform alchemical transformation. Apply 0 poison, so that doesn't do anything. That just has poison. Okay, so I definitely need to change the logic for how the number of abilities is chosen. You know what I'll do? I actually don't know what to do here. Hello, Bastion. I was lurking the last few days in here and started to check out your course on Udemy. I noticed that the GDScript one hasn't been updated for quite a while. Do you feel it's still okay? Yeah, the main thing that is not up to date in that course, the main thing that's not up to date is the tile map stuff. So there have been some tile map changes, but like in terms of GDScript and Godot, generally it's very much largely the same. So with the exception of the tile map changes, it's all good. And I think you can still use the old tile map system for now. I don't think it's been fully deprecated yet. Let me see. Yeah, so you can still use this if you want, the old deprecated tile map. Ooh, there was some lightning. But yeah, that's the main change. So it's kind of up to you, I guess, if you feel comfortable dealing with that. I do need to update the course. I think it's kind of at the point where I'd need to re-record the whole course, and I just don't have time for that right now. But yeah, maybe I should just re-record the tile map parts and see. Yeah, the other problem too is that I offer the download of the completed project, and so I would need to update my Git history somehow. Or I guess not, I could just add it as a new commit, I suppose. I don't know, I'd probably just re-record the course. But anyway, that's a long-winded answer to that question. The storm is coming in. So I need a way of determining how many abilities to add. Shoot. I wonder if I should just use a normal distribution for it. So if I do this, let's not do this. Let's do this instead. Order by randf. Abilities to take is equal to mathUtil.rng.randfn. So this is a normal function. The mean, let's do 2, and let's do a deviation of 0.5, I guess. gd.print abilities to take. And I'm going to do mathf.max of 2 in that. So I'm going to set a minimum of 2 abilities to take, and then I'll do this. Why is that a float? Oh. mathUtil.round. Oh no, mathf. Let's do floor to int here. So we're always going to take at least 2 abilities from this randomly ordered list, and then it possibly will just choose more. Okay, that might be better. So let's see. Just add a chapter at the end with updated tilemap process or something to show how it would have been done if recorded today. That's a good idea. Talking a lot of Lurker today, but I'm waiting for my robots. Oh, what kind of robots are you doing? 3D printing or something? Are you orchestrating a flock of Roombas? All right, let's see if this works. So alchemize cards, put this here and put this here. So really, I'm gonna get those guaranteed. So the sensible thing to do is to take this one because it's a small output. And then let's begin here. I think I may have just heard that soothing thunder. Maybe. Alchemize cards. I'm going to alchemize this guy and this guy. Boom. 3. Okay. I would love to see an output here, but here's how the alchemy system is working. So double that damage. Oh, look at that. Wait, so reduces. Oh, did I take the wrong one? So this should do 4 damage actually. Nice. So that's working very well. Take the snake. I'm not going to be able to alchemize that though. So let's take this now and merge it with the skeleton maybe. Perform alchemical transformation. Deal 2 damage, double that damage if there's an adjacent minion, deal damage again. This one is deal 2 damage, deal 2 damage, double that damage if there's an adjacent minion. So these are largely the same, but the thing is, because it's generating different base card types, I could take a minion tag or I could take a ritual tag depending on what my build is. So I'm just going to take this guy here. Let's put him in there. Oh, but it doesn't have an adjacent minion. That's okay. We'll just cheat that encounter. More minion cards. Let's go. Ooh, a scarab. Okay, alchemize cards. Perform alchemical transformation. Deal 1 damage. Damage increases by 1. Deal 2 damage, double that damage, damage increases by 1. Why is this never... It's always choosing 2. I'm going to change this, actually. So, abilities to take, we're going to change this to 2 plus math F dot absolute value of the normal distribution. We'll do 0 and 0.5 F. Okay, let's see if that changes things. So it's always taking 2 abilities. I'm kind of hoping to see it generate 3 abilities at some time, but 2 CNCs and a laser cutter engraver. Just retired from the army and now I run a wood shop in my garage. That sounds like fun. Sounds like a lot of fun. I always thought it'd be fun to get into that kind of like actual mechanical engineering, I guess, or carpentry or whatever, but I'm just not the kind of person that works with my hands, I guess. Hello, Neozoid again. Still lurking. Let's take the Corvid, alchemize, put the Corvid there, take that there, perform alchemical transformation. Echo if there are multiple Corvids on the board. So this would echo, this would reduce the turn twice. Oh, but I'm not going to be able to test that. This will just do damage now. So let's do this. Begin. So now I have Incense, which does damage and reduces the minion turn cooldown. Cool. Let's take a Scarab, alchemize cards. Boom. 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 There we go. Deal 2 damage, reduces, deal 2 damage. Deals 1 damage, deals 2 damage. Deal 2 damage, reduces remaining turns of adjacent minion cards. So let's take this Scarab here. Oh, but I lose. This one is growing damage. Let's take this. I should change the turn counter too. Anyway, let's see if this wins. I got 19 health to get through. Oh, it might not win. Oh, maybe it will win. Nope, I don't think it is. Let's see. Nope, it's not gonna win. Nope, it's definitely not gonna win. No, I lost. So that alchemy system is working actually pretty decently. It's taking 3 sometimes, which is good. I may need to change that number there, but yeah, I think that's working pretty well. I started woodworking to do something away from my computers, and now I have more computers than ever running my robots. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works, huh? I mean, it's still like you're still doing something physical. It's just you got a robot doing the precise cuts for you. Yeah, I've always been fascinated by that, but yeah, never got into it. Okay, so oops. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So let me go to my run manager. I'm going to remove the guaranteed event type alchemy from there and rework how alchemy works. So that feels a little bit more balanced to me because now it's just creating a bunch of different options for you and they're of varying power levels. And I think that's going to be a much more interesting thing, but also the player has control because you can now take higher tier cards, merge them into lower tier ones. Actually, that is something that I want to try. So I want to take this. I'm going to take my populate player cards. I'm going to skeleton warrior.increment tier twice. Oops, what did I just do? Ah. How did I forget to do this? What? Okay, I guess I forgot suddenly how to duplicate a line. Oh, am I pressing the wrong thing? What is going on? There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see what happens when I alchemize a higher tier skeleton with something else. What I should see is I should see a variety of tier options available. So if I do this, let's grab the phylactery, I suppose. Alchemize cards, put this together. So they all ended up being tier 3, which is kind of weird, but we'll try it. That might have just been, you know, just how randomness works. Let's see. Put this in here, put this in here. There we go. So I've got one of each option. So this is a tier 1, this is a tier 2. Reduces the remaining turns of adjacent minion cards by 3. Why is it 3? That one's 3 too. What in the heck? Oh, I know what's happening. Shoot. Dang it. There's a critical flaw here. There's a critical flaw, which is that these ability references are being shared. So when the ability gets scaled, it's being reflected across all the cards. Shoot. Now I need a way of duplicating abilities. Oh, goodness. Is that true? Hold on. Yeah, because the scale for tiers being called, yeah. So basically each of the 3 cards are sharing references to the underlying abilities when I actually need to create new composed abilities, new instances. Oh, goodness gracious. Are you serious? How am I going to do that? Gee dang it. How am I going to do that? Maybe I'll ask the AI. I'm going to have to figure out what to do about this. Hello, Hebo. How long do you think until you are done with this? I want to have something done by the end of the year. Until I'm done with a finished game loop. I think it's probably just like a couple more weeks until I have something that's playable. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to be building out the game, making it look, I guess you could call it like a vertical slice, what I'm doing. I'm not going to really add too much more content. I'm just going to try to get it feeling nice. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get some early play testers or something. We'll see. But yeah, the game is not, I mean, all the fundamental pieces are here. So just a matter of just building out some of the systems so I can accurately get a sense for how the game actually feels and plays. But yeah, between 4 months and 2 years for this game. Yeah, this game has to be finished before the end of the year for sure. I'm thinking, I mean, maybe thinking too far ahead, but I'm thinking I'll do early access for this game as well. To get an extra like boost to my budget, maybe. I guess it depends, but anyway, so we got to figure out what to do about this and sharing the abilities here. So I'm going to need to figure out a way of duplicating abilities so I can break the shared references here. I don't know how I'm going to do that. May have to do something nasty like use reflection for it or something, but I don't know. Maybe the AI will have a better idea. Anyway, I'm going to go take a quick 2-minute break though, real quick, and then when I come back, we'll figure out how to fix that. In the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. Those are all the ways you can support me. Gunforge is available for sale, and I also have my Udemy courses available. So those are great ways to support me, like I said, and I'll be right back and we'll continue on with fixing this issue.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions. Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbiter Discovery, and the shuttle has pulled the power.
Discovery Houston, trim to ATO. Nice to be in orbit. Beautiful, beautiful.
Alrighty, I'm back. Let's see what the Smarty Pants AI has to say about this. I have a problem in this method on event Alchemy started, which is that the composed ability returned by or stored in all abilities end up being shared by reference across the new card stats base card objects. In the loop, I need a way of duplicating base composed ability. Give me some suggestions for fixing this. Poorly worded, but whatever. The AI understands. Collecting composed abilities from input cards and reusing the same ability instances across multiple new cards, which can cause problems since they share state. Add a clone duplicate method to base ability. Yeah, but I don't want to have to write the duplicate method myself. Then an on event alchemy started method, we would modify the ability assignment like this. Factory method. If you prefer not to modify the base class, you could create a factory class that knows how to create new instances of each ability type. That seems interesting. Then you would modify the assignment in the loop to use this factory. Well, the problem with the factory approach, though, is I may have, like I said earlier, in some earlier streams, I may want to pass in constructor arguments to these abilities to change their numbers, their default numbers. Hold on one second. So yeah, so anyway, I don't know if I want to use a factory pattern for this because of that reason. Shoot. Gee darn it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, the only state, so the factory pattern is attractive for the case where I don't have any constructor arguments and I just need to create a new instance. But the problem is that, yeah, any state I may store as a result of a constructor argument needs to be duplicated. Like simple damage here, this magnitude being passed in. Yeah, so this is a good example here. So I've got different, they're all using the simple damage composed ability, but the magnitudes can be different. So it's not that every simple damage instance has the same magnitude. So I think what I need to do is I actually need to, yeah, I probably just need to create a duplicate method on each ability. Okay, fine. I didn't want to do that, but I guess there's no other way around it. Public, abstract, void, duplicate ability. I don't call it duplicate ability, just duplicate. Okay, all right. This is how we have to do it. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. Public void, public override duplicate. See, this needs to return. Why would it? Wait, did the AI actually suggest that I do a void, or did I do that myself? Base composed ability, right? Okay, duplicate, base composed. Can I put conditional echo in here? Oh, very nice. No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. So for the most part, it's going to be as simple as that. Yeah, and you can see that that's passing in. Yeah, so that's doing it exactly correct. Cool. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. I really don't like this. Return. Simple paralysis, duplicate original duration. Does it want this to be read-only? Okay. This AI makes it super easy to do this kind of stuff, though. Very nice. Oh, original magnitude. Okay. Oop, there's some lightning. Okay. So tag, okay. So now I just want to select ability.duplicate. So in that Alchemy event state machine, take dot select x dot duplicate. We might as well, what is going on here? Make this a little bit nicer here. This is no longer going to be a thing, so I can get rid of that. Because it's always guaranteed to take at least some abilities. Okay, I think that that's going to work. So let's go ahead and check this out now. So if I take this, begin, alchemize cards. Let's do this and this. Perform alchemical transformation. So you can see reduce turn by 3, but then this is by 1, and then this is by 3. So yeah, now those abilities are not sharing references anymore. So I can take this, begin. Take this, alchemize cards. Let's put all of them in the grid, why not? Reduces remaining turns of adjacent minion cards by 2. Reset the cooldown of 2 enemy minion cards with the least turns remaining. Double that damage if there's an adjacent minion. Oh, I know what's going on here. So there's another problem here. Tag adjacent speed. Query adjacent cells needs to be So there's a problem here, which is that I've hard-coded in things like adjacent speed the origin for adjacency. So this adjacent speed bonus basically it reduces the turn cooldown of adjacent, in this case, minion cards. But the problem is, what happens if I have a 2x2 card? It should do adjacency along its entire width and height, but the way the code is set up, it's only going to do the adjacency based on the top left corner. And so I need a way of getting the new card dimensions now into this parameter here. The problem is that the abilities don't know anything about the cards that they belong to. They're completely agnostic as to which card they're a member of, which means that when I create this tag adjacent speed, I think what needs to happen is I actually need to put the dimensions into there, or to set the query, to set, well, yeah, that's something that I need to think about. Let's create a new list in here. We're going to start a to-do list. Base composed abilities that use adjacency, querying, adjacency. Querying need to use the dimensions of the card. Currently the adjacency okay, so that's something that I need to do. So I'm trying to think, why is this weird here? Oh, this is the, yeah, this one is from the axe. So this is a perfect example of what's going on here. So let's see. Axe is using tag double damage. Yeah, so query adjacent cells, it's using 0, 0, and 0, 1, which is why there's an extra thing here. So reduces remaining turns of adjacent minion cards by 1. Right, so this little grid indicator here is basically, it's using the dimensions that would be the case for the axe, which is 2 cells high. And so that's why I'm getting this adjacency pattern here, when in reality, it should just be in the 4 cardinal directions. So I need to fix that. How am I going to fix that? The card has a reference to the card definition resource. And that kind of throws a wrench in my duplication logic too, because I'm actually going to need to supply a different card dimensions object into this duplicate here. Because if I'm using this tag double damage and it's coming from an axe, which is 1 cell wide and 2 cells tall, but then it gets put onto something that's 1 by 1. Did you hear that thunder? Hold on a second, give me a sec. All right. Nice big rumble there, yeah. Cozy stream and thunder, an excellent combination, yeah. So what I think I might have to do here is I need a way of being able to get the card stats into here when I duplicate it, because I may be going from a like I said, a 2 cell tall card to a 1 cell tall card. And that means that these query adjacent cells need to change in accordance with that. How do I want to do that? How do I want to do that? One way to do it is to make this value get provided through some sort of interface. Something like iCard dimensions something or other, and then have to set that. But then the problem is anytime I duplicate this, I have to remember to provide that data. I mean, I could do something like iCard dimensions, whatever, and then have like a set card dimensions here. Or occupied cells, I guess, is more accurate. The other option is that I could just require certain boilerplate information to anytime a base composability is instantiated. So like if I'm creating a new base composability, I might require, for instance, that I pass in some information about the card so that the ability knows. But then the problem with that is that I can't really have a standalone composed ability. It always needs to have some kind of relationship to some card data, which is not ideal, I don't think. Like, I want the abilities to be able to work in as independent a manner as possible, because I think that's going to give me the most flexibility. I don't know what to do about this. I guess we can ask the AI again. So add duplicate method. Let's see what the AI has to say about this. This query adjacent cells is currently hard-coded, but this array needs 2 to change in accordance with the occupied cells of a card definition resource. Is that where it's card definition resource? Occupied cells. However, I don't want base card or base composability to have knowledge of the card it belongs to. I could pass the occupied cells in as constructor arguments to tag double damage. However, when I duplicate the object, I may need to provide different occupied cells. What are some solutions? Let's see what the AI says. Dependency injection. Adjacent cells provider, that's what I was saying. I wonder if I could actually simplify this. Why am I passing in... Why does this need to be defined? Because I think the execution context always has the card stats available. So do I even need that, or can I just, in my query board helper here, this query adjacent cells? I wonder if I should just insert that at this query level here, because I have the card stats in this execution context. That might be the way to do it. So all I do... So instead of setting that data up here, all I would do is change this query adjacent cells to a Boolean instead. And I have the for card in here, so I actually don't even need to do it at the level that I was talking about. I think what I just need to do is say for each var cell in for card.occupied cells, which is, these are relative positions, I believe. Yeah. So I can just do that instead. And that should greatly simplify things, actually. Query adjacent cells. And then I don't even need this stuff here. I can just say query adjacent cells equals true. That might be the way to do it. Yeah, there's no reason to do this. I'll just say query adjacent cells equals true. And then let the query logic actually handle the dimensions of the card. Now, the only situation where this would maybe be a little bit undesirable is if I wanted to say only query cells on the left-hand side. But I think what I would do in that case is just add a new flag for that. So I could even break this down into like a bit mask and say, here's all the sides you should query on. But there's no reason to add that now. So let's see if this still works. There's some thunder. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope my computer doesn't get fried. I cannot afford a new computer right now. Unless, of course, somebody wants to donate $1,000 or so. I will always accept that. Anyway, so this is still working. That's a good sign. So let's see if it's actually working in practice here. Yeah, that's still working. Okay, that's a much better solution than whatever the AI wanted to have me do. Alchemize cards. Let's just try this out now. So yeah, see that this indicator is working correctly now too. Nice, so I can take this skeleton warrior. I don't have another minion card, but let's see if I can get one. More minion cards, come on. Yes. Yeah, let's do this. Take this, move this guy over here, alchemize cards. Let's do this. This is just going to create 3 copies of the same card. Okay, anyway, now begin. That's actually not going to have any effect because they have the same exact turn cooldown. But I can use a scarab now. Let's alchemize these 2. 3 scarabs. It's all exactly the same. Put that there. Begin. Ooh, I might actually lose this one. Let's see. Why did it deal 2 set? Oh, interesting.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Nope, I lost. It was a valiant effort, but alas. Okay, this is starting to work out really well. Yeah, this is looking, this alchemy system is starting to pan out pretty well here. In the tier here. Nice. Very cool. Okay, so rework how adjacent cell, rework how query adjacency works. Cool. All right, well, I think I'm going to end the stream here and go keep an eye on the weather, because that's what I'm doing anyway. Just to make sure, you know. But, yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you all for being here. Still got a lot done on the stream, despite the inclement weather. Not that it really impacted me that much, but yeah. So anyway, Gunforged is on sale for 30% off. So definitely check that out if you're interested and you want to support my work. And also, I have my Udemy courses available for sale. Those will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. Again, those are linked below. I'm going to be publishing a new video soon on the channel as well, so hit the notification bell to be notified when that goes live. And I will also be back online streaming here at 10 a.m. Eastern, so I hope to see you there. Thank you, Craig. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you everyone else for tuning in, all the VOD watchers and lurkers as well. Very much appreciate you and all of your support, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye everyone.